But
I guess my point is, and I understand those things happen. It happens all over in all kinds of things. My point in the whole deal is for the projects forward, make sure you do the research as far as you can. And I know there's mistakes, but I'm just saying it's something to be learned from.
oh, definitely.
Yeah, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I 100% agree with
Thank
you. Because that question was, because I was the one that asked the question, because I knew of the situation in Devil's Lake. And he said, no, because it's too small, it's not going to be an issue.
Okay.
Well, it became an issue, and hence that's why we took the route that we did with the pumps.
Okay.
You know, just so we could actually, you know, set it up so it's totally automatic if we wanted to spend the money to do that, that whenever the sulfate levels in the river downstream get to a certain level, that, you know, the pumps will kick in and they'll run until it, but, you know.
Well, it's no different than any other lake around here, so.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else for Larry?
So we need a motion and a,
Yep. Next step here,
All motion.
okay.
Approve it.
Give me a second here. Let's see.
Hang on.
Brian Miller. There a second?
We need a roll call on that, or?
Yeah.
Need a second.
Well, you need a second first. Second?
Yeah, so moved.
Okay. Motion made and second, then we'll take, all those in favor, we'll say aye, we'll start with Brian.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Whole motion approved.
Okay.
Does this need to be signed or anything, Larry, or?
Yeah, you'll sign it on the last page there. You'll check all the boxes and then sign it.
Okay. We can do that when we get down there.
And then next month, we'll be back to give you a report of the budget for the year.
Financial statement.
Yep, we'll go through all that with you.
Is that on that agenda, Dan?
Oh,
They were one of the groups that you
Okay.
wanted to see, so.
Okay.
do you want to see us next month or do you want it a different time? We'll go with your schedule.
We'll take you.
then you don't have to run down another one.
Okay? I guess I
You
did
guys are
myself
welcome to
with-
come in anytime with reports. Thanks.
Okay?
And do you want me to fill, give this to you or do you want to fill out the one?
Yeah, why don't you have Dennis sign it? Sign it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sign his own.
Thanks, Eric.
He's got to have an official.
Do you want me to come to the water board meeting when you guys, being you have this bridge thing on it?
Yeah, why don't you?
That's next Tuesday morning at 7?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I will make sure I'm there.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Let's see, that's the 11th then.
Yes.
We,
We're taking off.
We gotta go up here.
where'd you go? Yeah, okay. We'll do Kent next here. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks. Hey.
Morning, Kent.
Morning, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Guys, a long trip from Minot to Donald with that. All this morning?
Good thing the road.
That is quite a road trip.
It is, yeah.
I had bought about 8 o'clock and was hoping to get out of there about 9 and it was 9:15 and I thought, well, I don't know if I'll make 11 or not.
Probably lucky that it's not Thursday and it's Tuesday, because I think you guys are going to see some snow Wednesday night, Thursday.
And they're talking winds again,
Yeah,
30 to 40.
big winds on Thursday morning again, yeah.
Well, I got a little bit of updating for you folks.
Okay.
For the grade raise. I don't know if Jason had mentioned before, but there is no additional right-of-way that will be needed out there. We finally got clearance from the Fish and Wildlife, and the Hamburg Slough, we found out, is actually called the Wells County Wildlife Refuge. I didn't know if anybody knew that.
I didn't know that. It's not on any map.
So the biggest thing we are still waiting on, we had submitted everything August or September. There's 3.09 acres of potential wetland impacts since we're widening and filling in the wetlands. And we are still waiting to hear back from the Corps of Engineers what the final determination is going to be. So as soon as we do, we'll keep you folks posted and see what else has to be done.
So we'll have to mitigate acres then? Or
You're going to have to, it just depends on how many.
how many?
Yes.
What's the going rate nowadays?
Well, I'm glad you're seated.
Well, that's why I'm sitting down. I figured
E-
I'd break it down gently to young guys who have no idea what this costs.
Each basin is different. They have different price tags per acre. But this one's going to be in the 80 to 82,000 an acre range.
Jeez, really? Holy cow.
Yeah, 3 acres, $250,000.
And I guess that was one of the questions Jason and I had amongst ourselves. I'll just ask, I mean, worst case scenario, if they say you have to mitigate 3 acres.
Why do
Is it gonna kill the project?
No, I have a question then. We don't raise it a foot, we don't have to mitigate any acres, correct?
It depends on the width.
Well, if you don't raise it, you don't have to make it as wide,
Correct.
is what he's saying.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Because the reason that I say that is I've been with the county since 2002. And I think Boone is very well of the area. I don't ever remember the water going over the highway down there. Okay? So, why raise it?
Yeah, so why are we raising it?
You know, I'm trying to remember, Brent, back when that thing was paved, Jim Fike was here.
Yep.
I don't remember if the water was over the road or just up to the shoulders, because we did a grade raise with the hot mix through there.
Mm-hmm.
to
That's
get it
why
up.
there was so much hot mix down in there when we grounded.
Yeah.
The only time that, and we'd have to go back and look in the records, where the water may have gone over there is in 93.
Okay.
I think there was a spot on that road.
We had water go over the road. Where we've had, in my time here with the county, where we've had water go over the road was actually on the hilltop to the west, because the ditch wasn't deep enough, and it filled up on both sides and trickled over and went down the hill. But in my knowledge, I've never seen the water go over the road where the pipes are down in the low area.
On the
Maybe
top there was.
on the top, which is, it goes over for about an hour, doesn't do any damage, and off it goes. You know, in fact, the last time that happened, I sat out there with the county pickup with the flashing lights and let traffic through till the water went down and stopped going over the road, then I left. So, I guess that question is why raise it?
It's a good question. I tell you, it won't take much to drop it a foot to see if we can save on some acres.
Yeah.
Right.
So is there more culverts in than used to be?
No.
Same, they're there.
Just new ones.
You put, yeah, the new ones.
We put the new ones in the last 2 years, but before that, that would be before my time when those other 60 inches were put in. We put 2 new 60s in, one in 23. Well, I think they both went in the same year. 23.
One in the spring.
One in the middle of summer, one in the fall. Correct.
You'll have enough material over the top of them that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the other thing is that that's also going to cut your cost. You're not going to have to probably extend those culverts. You're not.
It'll make a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Well, and then you need to recalculate this and submit that information to the Corps as soon as possible, right? Because what they come back with, will it be a different acreage than what they're currently dealing with?
No,
Right.
we will, yeah.
Okay.
Because realistically, there might not be any mitigation acreage at all.
There shouldn't be, or very little.
If you don't raise it, it
Because
shouldn't
it
be,
had,
right?
it had that level before.
Well, if you extend culverts, yeah, no, in theory. Oh, they'll come up with 8/10 of an acre or something.
Wow.
Sure.
It's not for me to say 250,000 would kill the project, but 250,000 is that's a lot of money in this county.
Yeah.
Well, it is, the prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
Well, they were at, what was the Sykeston one? That was $7,000, wasn't it? That road place way down southeastern part of the county? We had to mitigate like a half an acre or something like that. I was
Oh,
worked up
down
about a
on
month.
Underoos down there.
Yeah, and
Worked
then
up
we're,
about a month
for
about
that
that.
safety project, yeah.
Yeah, down on Underoos.
Yeah.
They had to do that there.
I think it was $7,000 then.
Yeah.
And that was what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
No, we'll definitely do some looking, and if it drops quite a bit, get it resubmitted.
I guess that'd
That's
be the
not an
thing,
issue.
Yeah.
check her out.
We haven't heard back anything from them, so it doesn't hurt to send them revised information.
Yep,
Right.
very good.
Okay. But other than that, I know Jason was shooting for a full set of plans to discuss with everybody in April. Obviously, things might change, but I guess that's the biggest updates I had for you folks.
I know one thing, the folks already over there, they've gotten used to that ground up 1.5 miles. I haven't really got any questions at all, is when are you gonna do this, when are you gonna do this? They're flying through there like, because we grounded, it's way smoother, and we're out there blading it every couple times, a couple times a summer, and it's like, that's why when we start talking about grinding highways, and we have a question for you on that too, is the change of subject. Can you request counters? For instance, we're in a position now where we're thinking about grinding up Highway 71. In fact, at the last meeting, we decided we were gonna grind it up.
South is the blinking light.
Blinking light south.
Oh, okay.
Do we talk to you about having, excuse me, having the state put some counters there so we can see what kind of traffic we're talking about? For like a road, because we're gonna do a road project there?
We've done both. We've requested it or the county has.
Oh,
Go right through local government. Brandon Bicey's the new guy that took Brian Fuchs's spot.
If I called him and said, hey, can some counters be put on that highway this summer, they should oblige us?
They should. I know they have different regions, if you will, so they'll do,
Yeah, they go around and just
They go around the
automatically do
state.
it, we don't even hear about it.
yeah. But I know like Botno and a couple other counties have requested it, and if they're available, they have done it.
Okay.
Well, I think if you think they're coming randomly next summer anyway, give them a call, and then your input as to where we would like them would be really helpful. I mean, you would know more where you'd like them than the state, probably.
how about time of the year? Maybe
Yeah.
fall's better, huh?
You probably would want to get them in August, September. Go in the summertime, you won't get that traffic.
You ever been to Harvey Farmers the last June, July, and August? That's busier than harvest.
I
Really?
realize
Yeah.
that, but there, you're gonna see a lot of traffic come harvest time down there. A lot of traffic.
Well, I think it's a fair question to ask Kent too, is what are your feelings about 71? The cost of repaving roads, you obviously know it's astronomical. Are other counties that you guys are working with, are they grinding highways up? Are they starting to grind some older highways up because of cost?
You know, the first one I think of, Brent, is Botno County. They have some 25, 30-year-old pavement. Basically, it's 7 miles from Willow City east to the Rolette County line, and then their Rolette County's gravel. So they're at the point, they're already looking at prices to grind up that 7 miles.
That's pretty similar to the
I
exact same
guess.
thing here.
To answer your question.
Because we had a gentleman that came in and spoke to us an hour and a half ago about his concerns about us grinding that 9 miles up. And, one of his questions to the commissioners were, have you reached out to the engineers? What are the engineers' thoughts on you grinding up this highway? Correct? That was one of his questions,
Right.
correct? So I guess I'm kind of reaching out to you, and I want, is Wells County the only county that's doing this, that's looking at other means because of the cost of repaving these older county highways that are looking at returning them to aggregate? And, obviously, if we chose to ground it up, it doesn't mean that it can't be brought back to blacktop. That's basically the first step on a major highway project, on a major repave anyway, kind of like what we did with Bremen, is that correct?
That is correct. Because
Maybe I'll ask this. A couple months back, you were proposing kind of an evaluation of Wells County's roads. Obviously, you're not gonna be totally familiar with that until you actually get out and take a look at it. Is that part of what you would consider the process of providing us with that roadmap about our?
I would say yes. I mean, if not, we'll definitely add it to it.
And I think that'd be a good deal, because that was one of the questions the gentleman had, is if engineering is gonna look it over and recommend it also.
Yeah, his big question was, are the engineers involved in this, or are you guys just doing it to save money?
Well, and I should have brought my sheet with for everything we've done for Wells County. If I remember right, we did the last project on that road was probably a micro surfacing.
I think you're right, because I already was told that.
But it was a long time ago.
Well, I'd have to, off the top of my head,
I know it was over 25 years ago.
Oh, maybe.
It wasn't, I don't believe it was microsurfaced in my time here, and I've been here 23.
I know it happened when Randy was a commissioner, is what I was told.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I could be wrong, and I'm wrong more than I'm right, so yeah,
I don't know.
I have the map too up in the office of when it was
I want to
done.
say we microed it and Mel was here, and Randy was a commissioner,
Okay,
if I recall correctly.
okay.
Now, what year that would be off the
Well,
top
it would have
of my
had to
head,
been
I don't
between
think.
7 and 18.
Well, I'm closer to 7, because
Yeah, Mel took over in December of 7.
We've been on, this will be our 9th year.
and that
We're
wasn't
done.
done since we've been on. That's
Yeah.
before us.
Yeah.
We've been on, we'll be done at the end of this, it'll be 12 years we're on.
I should have brought that map with me, and I didn't. I have one in my office.
You've been on it.
But no, I guess to answer your
We'll be on
question,
16
there are
this
some
year.
other counties looking
Well,
at
we
turning
start in the
pavement
middle.
to gravel.
Well, we're just trying to, I mean, like everything, it's like, what can we afford to do? And, it runs into a wide, in my terms, a wide farm to market gravel road on the south end.
Right.
I mean, there's 9 mile, I drove the road just twice this past weekend, and they don't want to give up their pavement like nobody does. But I don't think they understand the cost of a grind compared to the cost of an overlay.
Night and day difference.
10 times more.
Yep. Nope, I would agree.
They wanted to know, did you talk about the inspection of the road or what you could do with it?
Yeah.
Didn't he ask for something about
Well,
inspecting?
the one thing that needs to take into consideration, and Boone's driven it, I actually drove it twice this past weekend, is that to cut out the soft spots in that 9 mile stretch, we ain't got the money. They're everywhere.
They're all over.
There's probably 4 every mile. You're talking about digging out 36 spots because there's some gumbo down there, and it's just, this is a terrible year too. The frost heaves are terrible in all the counties, I would assume.
They are.
I mean, so you're looking at, holy cow, you grind it up and you return it to aggregate, and if you're going to dig out every one of those spots and repair those spots, the cost would be astronomical.
Well, and I remember when we did Sykeston South, there was a lot of patching on that as
Yep.
well. And without going back and looking at numbers, you start digging out and patching soft spots, it doesn't take long to spend $100,000.
I know.
Not at all. And there was a lot of spots on that road.
So I guess are we at the point where you guys get time to check out 17 and kind of give us a recommendation?
71.
Or 71, yeah.
No, we can. And I guess one other thing, I know Wells County has done it in the past. We had Ron Intertech do some pavement testing for Botno and Burke County last fall. Because, I don't know if you guys remember the reports, but they'll give you a recommendation. That's something we could also have them look at.
Yeah.
Because they come out and do, it's the following weight deflectometer to test your pavement and your subgrade. And they could easily come back with different roads and say, it's recommended that you grind it up and reconstruct it there.
We probably have 3 highways, this one included, the one going north of Fresno and the one going west of Fresno, that all probably they're all in kind of tough shape.
Mhm.
They probably all need to have some level of evaluation. So if they're coming,
Yeah,
I don't know.
because we call old 52 here is the elephant in the room. You know, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna fix 5 and old 52 is in tough shape.
Terrible.
Terrible.
I
I
haven't
mean-
been on that for a little while.
Oh, you don't want to. Got a helmet?
Slow down.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a cop out there telling you to slow down.
So
Wow.
we should say, let's just, hold off and get some information.
Well, yeah, because the one thing, if you guys remember, at the last meeting, you said, hey, we're gonna grind 71. No timetable was set. We never said we were gonna do it this year, we never said we were gonna do it last year, but you guys kinda made the decision that it's time to grind that highway.
Well, we gotta define that. Did we make a decision or we just discuss it? We never made a motion to do it.
I don't believe a motion was made, I think it was just the agreement in the room that, hey, it's time to grind that highway.
I
But not,
think part of the discussion was, when we get our other projects done, what's our next project?
what's our next project? That's how it led into it, correct,
Right.
correct.
Right, I remember talking.
That one was in the toughest shape, right? That
Yeah.
You
That's the
figured.
next.
After we finished this project on 5, then we went in order 71, old 52.
Yeah.
That's where this came from.
Mhm, Yep.
Are we planning to grind the shoulders on the Chasely Road this year? Is that an issue anymore? Or
We
just
actually spoke about that. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna look at renting for a couple days, a rock bucket for our skid steer, and we're gonna go out and cut them asphalt chunks out with our blades.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Your man Buckwitz has got a plan already.
He's got a plan. I'm sure he talked to you about
He told
it,
me
yeah.
all about it, so we
Yeah,
got a plan for that, yeah.
Yeah, well, there was 5 blade guys that happened to be together yesterday. The guys were picking up parts, and we're gonna go out with 2 machines, and we're gonna rip that remaining asphalt off the shoulders out. And we're just gonna talk to Louds and pick up a rock bucket, rent the rock bucket for a couple $100 for a couple days, come behind with the skid steer and pick up the asphalt chunks and dump them in the truck. Much cheaper than grinding, having a grinder come down just to run down the side.
That sounds like a good deal, yeah. So I don't know, Kent, anything else we can,
You know, I guess just for your information, we were down at the county engineers conference last week in Fargo. We don't know all the details yet, but for any counties doing bridges and or box culverts, the DOT always had somebody at the plant to inspect them, to do the concrete testing and everything on the county's behalf. They're not gonna do that anymore.
Surprise, surprise.
So in a nutshell, they basically said it'll be up to the county to figure it out and get somebody down there to do the testing and the inspecting. We've been thinking in-house, I mean, some of these box culverts, Botno County had 2 last year that came from Rapid City. So we're gonna try to see what we can do, if we can work with, say, a South Dakota DOT employee, if it's made down there, to go inspect it for the counties. We don't have all the answers yet, but I guess long story short, any boxes or bridges are gonna be more expensive.
Not surprised.
You know, nothing surprises me anymore.
So, not to bring you bad news, but
It's not the worst news we've heard today.
and I don't think there's a lot of details out there. Everybody was quite shocked when we heard about it at the convention last week, so there'll definitely be more yet to come anyway. But no, other than that, that's all I had for you folks.
well, thanks for making the long trip down here.
You bet. Unless you guys can think of anything else.
No.
No, we'll probably just kind of wait and see what happens with 71 though. That's kind of our next priority after we get done over here, so.
Okay.
Did you guys, or do you have to, with what we talked to him about possibly not doing the 1-foot raise on County 5? You're gonna get some numbers together for, there's nothing these guys gotta make any type of decision on? Is that correct?
Not today, I guess.
Not today?
No, we'll do some looking and see, drop the elevation and see what we come up with. Make
See
sure-
what the options are and
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks, Kent.
Thank you, Ken. Drive safe home.
You guys done for the day?
Oh, we got
No.
a few more deals here.
Gotcha.
What's
Okay,
the North Dakota telephone
yeah,
company?
those two, I can tell you, there was some confusion there that they were either replacing or was it new construction? And both of them are actually new construction, so it has to go to planning and zoning first, so we don't need to do
Okay.
it.
Planning and zoning.
So they're gonna have a meeting apparently then.
There should be one coming up pretty soon then.
I guess the next one is the deal about road scales, road weight scales.
I think we just have to have what's the consensus of the commission before we go to the next 6 counties.
I'll start out. After doing a little research on this and talking to people, I think the cost would be way more than what we'd gain out of it.
Even if we split it up for the 6 of them?
Yeah. For instance, word is, you get a couple of big trucks and you stop them and they get a big fine. Gonna take care of the problem for a long time. We're gonna still be paying these people. And I think the bottom line is, we're looking, in order to get into this, each county is gonna be in for at least $20,000–$30,000. So,
Minimum of 30 probably.
probably. So I don't know, my opinion, I don't think it's, I wish the highway patrol would be doing this and come around occasionally and do it. You know?
We'll be
That's
looking,
my 2 cents. You guys speak up.
if the weather continues to hold too, we'll probably be putting restrictions on in about 4 to 5 weeks.
Will that,
No,
will they obey it?
no.
Well, they never do, and
Okay,
Well,
go ahead. Can we hire somebody for a month?
Is there anybody out there?
Well, what I
Who's
wonder
got
is-
scales that we
is-
can hire for a month?
I think the scales are the easy part. You
Right.
need someone who's certified in how to
Certified.
run
To do
it.
this?
Because Kidder County has them.
Yep.
right.
It would be, and you know perfectly well, your sheriff's department's not going to do this.
No.
You have to have somebody who has the scales and is certified to use them.
And they gotta be certified.
And you'd have to obviously pay them to work in your county.
Would,
And they have to be a law enforcement person, or they need to have credentials. The 5 of us can't do it.
No, they have to be able to write a ticket. which
Write a
makes them
ticket,
law
that's
enforcement
why-
I
official.
did it, but I want a gun.
That sheriff had 6 county meetings. Of course, I
Around
don't
here.
know if I trust him, but he said you have to be a law enforcement.
I checked it.
I thought you don't have to be?
You do, he said.
You do have
The
to be
new-
law
the
enforcement?
new guy
Oh, yeah,
down there?
I'm
Yeah.
sure of that. But I mean,
Why couldn't we ask Ward? He only works part-time.
there's the guy.
Ward could do that.
Have you guys,
Ward has a lot of things.
has anybody reached out, and I don't even know, this is probably the dumbest question you heard all day, but you talk, can we talk to the state highway patrol?
That's been done.
Hold on. Can we talk to the state highway patrol and maybe periodically, twice a year, have a truck regulatory inspection on County 5 where they're set up for 1 day?
It's not a dumb idea,
I would think
because
so.
they used to do
That's
that.
the best.
Because if word gets out that the county is randomly putting the highway patrol out for a truck inspection on County 5 a couple times a year, that may change some guys' hauling habits.
That's my
71
point.
too.
If there was just, you know,
Or
Just
the
to
truck
throw it up in
regulatory
there.
thing.
Yeah, all it takes is a day in the fall and a day in the winter where they're doing truck regulatory inspections on County 5. We used to see it all the time down here on 200 at the Sykeston
Yeah,
truck
right,
spot.
exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
They maybe were only there
Yep.
3 times a year, but boy, it got everybody's attention that
Got
one day
people
they were here.
excited.
So is it worth reaching out to the North Dakota Highway Patrol and seeing if Wells County can schedule something like that twice a year?
I'd be
Maybe
way in
2
favor of
days?
something
Yep.
like that, because another.
They have to
than
talk to
having
the
a
state,
full-time
right?
guy.
Well, the other option would be, the legislature meets, there has to have been a decrease in truck regulatory